Imagine your little girl walks out the door to play, and the last thing you ever hear from her is her laugh disappearing down the street. 1 second she's there, the next she's gone, and the person who took her might be the only one who can bring her back, or the only one you're willing to destroy. This is the story of prisoners. It's Thanksgiving Day in a small Pennsylvania town. The sky is gray, the wind is cold, and the smell of turkey hangs in the air. This is where we meet Keller Dover. He is the kind of father who taught his son how to shoot a deer and how to pray in the same afternoon. His basement is a fortress, packed with canned food and survival gear, because he believes the world can end at any second. He's prepared for everything. Or so he thinks. Across the street live his best friends, the Birches, Franklin, Nancy, and their daughters. One of them is Joy, the best friend of Keller's 6-year-old daughter, Anna. After dinner, the two little girls beg to go play outside. Just down the street, they promise. Keller looks at Anna, at her little red coat and her bright smile, and he says yes. They never come home. Hours later, the quiet neighborhood is a chaotic mess of flashing police lights. Parents scream their daughters' names until their voices break. Then, someone remembers something odd. A creepy RV had been parked on the curb all afternoon, and 2 little girls had been seen climbing on its steps, laughing, just before it slowly drove away. This is where Detective Loki enters the picture. He's young, he works alone, and he has this intense, unblinking stare. The guy has a perfect record. He's solved every single case he's ever been given. He's that good. And he finds the RV within hours. The driver is a young man named Alex Jones. He has a soft voice, and his eyes don't quite focus. They say he has the IQ of a 10-year-old. When Keller Dover sees Alex in the interrogation room, something inside of him just snaps. As the cops lead Alex away, he looks right at Keller and whispers something so quiet. Only Keller hears it. They only cried when I left them. In that instant, Keller lunges across the table. It takes several officers to pull him back. But there's no evidence. No fingerprints, no DNA, nothing to hold Alex on. So after 48 hours, Alex Jones walks free. That night, Keller waits in the darkness outside Alex's house. When Alex takes his dog for a walk, Keller makes his move. He grabs him, throws him into the back of his car, and disappears into the night. He takes Alex to an abandoned, dilapidated apartment building his father left him years ago. It's just one room, one chair, and one father who will do absolutely anything to hear his daughter's voice again. He starts by begging, and he screams. Then he hits. Every single blow is a question. Where is my little girl? But all Alex does is cry, over and over. I don't know. I don't know. But Keller no longer believes in innocence. He only believes in getting results. Days bleed into nights in that dark, cold room. Meanwhile, Keller's wife, Grace, is swallowing pill after pill just to find a moment of sleep. His best friends, the Birches, start looking at him like he's a stranger, a monster. All this time, Detective Loki is doing things the right way. He's chasing down leads, dusting for fingerprints, searching houses. He finds a different suspect, a quiet man with maze drawings all over his walls. Then another lead pops up, and another. But every single one of them collapses. Every door he opens seems to hide a new, unspeakable horror, but none of them lead to the girls. Then a breakthrough. One night, Joy Birch is found wandering on the highway. She's been drugged, she's barefoot, but she is alive. She's rushed to the hospital. Keller races to her bedside and begs her, Joy, where is Anna? Where is my daughter? Through chattering teeth, barely conscious, she whispers, You were there. Keller's blood runs cold. She saw him. She saw him at the abandoned house with Alex. His own terrible secret is out. He runs before the police can arrest him. a fugitive from his own life. At the same time, Detective Loki finally connects the last few pieces of the puzzle. He realizes the quiet woman who raised Alex, his Aunt Holly, is the real monster. Years and years ago, she and her husband lost their own child. They decided God had abandoned them, so they declared a war against God. Their mission? To steal children and break families apart, to watch people's faith crumble into despair. And Alex? Alex was their very first victim. They kidnapped him when he was just a toddler, damaged his brain with drugs, and kept him like a pet. He wasn't a killer. He was just another prisoner. Loki storms Holly's house. He finds Anna in a hidden pit in the backyard. She's barely breathing, drugged for weeks. He carries her out of that dark hole and into the light. Sirens wail. There are tears, reunions. The nightmare is over. Almost. Keller Dover is still missing. No one knows where he is. As Holly lies dying from a bullet Loki fired, she smiles and says, "He's where he belongs." She had tricked Keller. She lured him to her house, and when he fell into the same pit she kept the children in, she poured dirt and leaves over the top. She left him there to die with only one thing, the little emergency whistle Anna used to use to call the family dog. He has just enough strength left for one weak blow. Weeks later, after the news cameras leave and the street goes quiet again, Detective Loki returns to the property one last time, alone. The house is now an empty, silent crime scene. Snow begins to fall. He stands right over the spot where the pit is hidden. He listens to the wind, and then he hears it. A tiny, desperate whistle. It's so faint, you could almost miss it. Loki freezes. He looks down at the frozen ground. His eyes widen just a little, and the screen cuts to black. Prisoners is a story that asks the question no parent ever wants to face. How far would you go to save your child? And would you even recognize yourself when you came back? If this story left a knot in your chest, like it always does for me, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. In the end, do you think Loki digs? Or does he walk away? I really need to know what you believe. Thanks for watching.